as a torch-passing exercise that surrounded Jean-Luc Picard with new characters, a sort of next generation, you could say. Star Trek. Picard began as a series partly devoted to giving the aged but unbowed former captain of the Enterprise a late-in-life shot at returning to the stars. Over the course of 3 seasons, that mission expanded rather than drifted. While keeping Jerry Ryan and Michelle Hurd from the previous Picard seasons, this third and final season has expanded the autumnal adventures to almost the entire original Star Trek. The Next Generation cast. It has also made the torch-passing theme even more explicit by adding Jack Crusher, Picard's previously unidentified son, and 2 Geordi LaForge daughters on top of that. That's a lot to ask of any show, let alone one tasked with giving the cherished TNG characters the due send-off, maybe. They were denied by the less than popular Star Trek, Nemesis. And for the most part, the season has carried that weight admirably. The TNG characters have all had their moments to shine as the show reassembled the team. Ryan's 7 of 9 and Hurd's Raffi have both had plenty of work, and Jack has proven to be a charismatic addition when he could have felt like an interloper shoehorned in to lower the cast's median age. But will this last episode be remembered? Yes, pretty much. The season-long narrative, which started with a battle with the Dominion before that terrifying adversary essentially handed villainy duties to the Borg, comes to an exciting conclusion in The Last Generation, giving the original cast a touching farewell while also leaving the door open for further adventures. But as it begins, it seems improbable that there will be a happy ending. The younger generation of the Federation has been assimilated, and there is little that can be done about it. Warns Federation President Chekhov, not that one, but his son. But as his father once said, there are always possibilities. Being a resilient group, Picard and the crew devise a strategy after realizing they are the cavalry, in Data's words. It's a desperate scheme, maybe, but it's still a plan. Go to Jupiter, get on the Borg ship, and disable a beacon that enables the Borg to operate as they do, and hopefully in the process save Jack. Picard takes it personally. He's been haunted by the Borg's threat for more than 35 years, and they have his son, whom he's grown to like quite a bit despite a rocky beginning. It is, after all, also quite personal for everyone else. If this is truly their last stand, it will be against an adversary with whom they have a troubled past. No one is more aware of that than Seven, who is in charge of the group attempting to retrieve the Titan. She and Raffi will be very important in the subsequent showdown, but the newly reunited TNG crew is what really makes things happen. And in traditional Trek faction, that entails dispersing into more compact units. Worf, Will, and Picard enter the queue. And I will make it a threesome, says Worf, signaling his intentions. One of the opening tear-jerking scenes in the program is when they say goodbye. Could this be the final meeting between these characters? Deanna's expression tells it all as Will walks away. They discover a number of decaying Borg drones on the queue, but there isn't much activity. After another heartbreaking farewell scenario in which Picard is unable to express to Will how much he means to him, the two must part ways. I know that you know. Always, Will replies, letting him off the hook while intensifying the scenario. Worf's own parting remarks about Klingons not understanding the words defeat and farewell serve as a touching epilogue. It's worse when Picard gets to Jack than he anticipated. The Borg Queen hovers over his son, who has become totally Borgified. She basically wants to make fun of Locutus, claiming that he is returning home. Assimilation is likewise declared to be obsolete by the Borg Queen. Evolution is the new Borg objective, and it appears that their approach is succeeding. Unknowingly created hybrids with Borg DNA are now commonplace in Starfleet, ready to be informed what to do, according to Jack. Nevertheless, in spite of the overwhelming odds against them, our heroes succeed thanks to a number of rather impressive fight scenes that include aerial fighting, a hand-to-hand conflict with Borg drones, some fancy flying from Data, and a struggle for Jack's soul. In the second scenario, Picard connects to the Borg network and convinces Jack of the benefits of living outside the Borg cube, despite the potential for loneliness and dread. The centerpiece of Picard's argument is his willingness to freely convey his feelings, particularly those for his son, a difficult task for the captain. He says, "You are the piece of me that I never knew was missing." Then they embrace. This episode just doesn't stop delivering powerful emotional scenes. If anything, Will's final words to Deanna are even more heartbreaking. "I'll be waiting, me and my son." The Borg Queen's final cry of no, just before her cube erupts, indicates that this Star Trek episode is one of those Star Trek episodes. Star Trek is a franchise dedicated to chasing exciting science fiction concepts wherever they lead. When the board control is taken away from the Titan crew, even Seven feels like giving hugs. Everyone has a happy ending, and the group photo on the Enterprise bridge, which also features Will and Deanna hugging and Worf dozing off, might serve as a suitable series finale. But more needs to be done. That involves extending the TNG crew's time together and planning upcoming journeys. Beverly has created a technique to get rid of board DNA and look for Dominion holdouts, according to Will's log. It is revealed that Tuvok, the genuine Tuvok, is still alive. Seven finds out that Captain Shaw truly thought highly of her and even suggested that she be elevated to the position of captain. Data is still working through his new emotions with a lot of assistance from Deanna, who is a touch preoccupied during the most recent of their marathon sessions planning a vacation. But overall, everything is well. After a year, Will, Picard, and Geordi put the Enterprise D to sleep and continue the emotional farewell. Later, Picard and Beverly accompany their son to the Enterprise for his first Starfleet mission. The Enterprise has been renamed in honor of Starfleet's legendary flagship and is now commanded by Seven, with Raffi and Jack by her side. That seems to be the beginning of a brand new series starring this cast. I would observe, it's not over yet. The TNG crew spends the evening together, reflecting on their time together over drinks and Picard's stirring recitation of one of Brutus's speeches from Julius Caesar. There is a tide in the affairs of men before, in a nod to All Good Things, the original TNG finale, a game of poker breaks out with Picard enthusiastically participating. It's a self-indulgent moment that taps into collective love for these people over many years, and boy does it work. Even if it implies that not all good things, or at least not all excellent shows, end, it feels like an appropriate departure. They merely sort of lingered while they awaited being picked up once more.